Hello, folks. I finally got a new cable for my Rode mic. So, not the best mic in the world. This is their cheap version, a little tiny shotgun mic. But at least the cable doesn't weigh down my phone when I put it on the gimbal and that. So, that's the update. That's the update as far as video quality and that goes. I have to keep the gimbal a little closer to me so the mic doesn't pick up. Right now it's just the fans running, but it picked up the compressor pretty good before. So, I guess what I'll do is make this one an update as far as what's going on with the corporate complaint. I put in the local complaint. I gave it time. I was getting ready to put in a corporate complaint. Who was it at first? It's like 3 times now. Someone said, "Oh, give me until such and such a date." I think the first time was just me, basically. But then after that, it was like other people asking me to give them time to straighten out problems. But so that's got us to today, and now pretty much the time is up. It's I'll go over things that have happened, but there's nothing to stop me from putting in the corporate complaint. I'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow possibly could bring something new that would make me hold off a little bit, but probably not. But yeah, I cut my hair. I'm disabled, so this is the best it gets. I need to update the corporate document to include. I've been trying to think of the best way to word it. I've got to include how not taking action against CNAs. You can probably hear that racket. That's the CNAs going by. They're finishing up their rounds. Which supposedly I'm on that list now. They're supposed to at least verify if I need to be, changed or whatever. Maybe it's only if my light's on, I don't know. But I've never been asked without the light on. Every time I start a video, I start yelling. Anyway, I need to change the document so that it includes, how the CNAs, if they're not, what do you call it? If the administrator doesn't take action against some of the things the CNAs are doing, then it looks like it's just, there's 2 different things there. Then that looks like it's intimidation. In addition, if the upper management only does things for me, but not for everybody, then obviously they take it out on me, the CNAs, because they know it's just me. But then today I was talking to the acting director of nursing, because the director of nursing that just started here is on vacation already. I don't think he's even been here a month yet. He's already on vacation. That's a little weird. But anyway, the acting director of nursing I was talking to today, and she said, obviously, because other people have stuff being piled up in their room and all that, that it's not just me. I said, well, I never said it was just me. And, I could see the woman across the hall. She's got diapers stacked up on her through-door chest. So, no, it's not just me. But that's the problem. When they're doing that to other people, but to me they have to be special, all of a sudden now they can try to take it out on me because I'm making them do other stuff or whatever. And it's really not that much. All it is, it's about no different than when you get a teenage kid and you tell them to clean your room and they don't want to. It's kind of the same stuff. Just take the soaps, put them in the bathroom on the shelf. I've got 2 drawers here for CNAs. They've been those 2 drawers, at least the third drawer for sure. I added the second drawer because I've never used it. But the third drawer for sure since, 10 months ago, and they've never used it. And I've got the right side of my closet because I don't even fill up the left side, but why not let them use the right side? And yeah, and then all of a sudden I've got nothing. And yet, they still leave stuff out. It's a lot better. But they still leave stuff out. And I was telling her, I said, don't they have kids at home? Is this what they do? Is just leave stuff hanging around the house? This is where I live. I might live here until the day I die. And yet, I got to put up with, people putting soaps and stuff wherever they feel like it. I don't think so. So, and it's not that big an ask. It's just put stuff away. That's it. It's not like I'm trying to be a pain in the ass. I'm just asking them, put stuff away. In the beginning, when everything in here was covered, then I was getting pretty hot about it. But now it's like, at this point, it's just about putting stuff away, really. And it's not a big deal. Just put it away. Put the soaps in the bathroom. Put the wipes and stuff down in these drawers you got. And put the diapers in that drawer. Or however you want to do it, as long as they're put up so that they make sense to you and the CNAs. And they're not out here in the open. That's all I care about. That's it. As far as that's concerned, but I have to add that to the document, to the corporate document. Because this is stuff that should be, it should be going on with everybody. Not just me. I'm not special. This is just regular stuff. There's no reason why people should be. Now, I can understand if you have somebody who's like, they get fed through a tube, they're in a coma, whatever, they never get out of the bed. Then you got to keep stuff at the ready. I can understand that. But you should go according to who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with people that get up, then you should clean up the place. You should put stuff away. If you're dealing with basically all you're doing is keeping somebody alive till they die, then of course you just got to keep stuff at the ready. And everywhere in between. But that's what CNAs should know. They should know when they're supposed to have respect for the person who lives there and put stuff away, and when they have the respect that has to do with being able to handle situations that may arise with them. It's that's why they're CNAs. That's what their job is, to know that stuff, not to get upset because somebody makes it harder for them to do their job. You know what I mean? I don't know. So at this point, I'm going to give it tomorrow. Make sure nothing else is going on, because the acting director, she made a sign for me. Let me see if I can pull a sign up on here. Let's see. I would have to. No, I can't. I don't think I can reverse the video on the backside camera. Yeah, well, it only has a few bullet points, and it says basically, help me take care of my home, pick stuff up. If you bring stuff in and you're not going to use it, take it with you. That's really a huge problem. Is that they would bring stuff in, they wouldn't use it, and they just leave it here. I understand it sometime in the future you'd use it, but at one point over there next to the sink, on the right-hand side of the sink, I had I forget if it's 12 or 15 bottles, different bottles of soaps, and they have different types of soaps, and I had, and then one was the lotion, and there was a couple of different sprays, but it was 12, 15 bottles, because every time they walk in, girl will bring a bottle or two with her and just leave it there. Some of those bottles, at least 3 of them that I know of, were empty. Why were they even there? I was the one who had thrown them away. This goes back to like when you have a teenager and you tell them to clean their room. Why am I having to do that with these? Most of these chicks, they've got kids. They know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what they go through when they try to get their kid to clean up or pick up after themselves, don't leave socks or whatever all over the place. That kind of thing. It's the same thing. Just put it away. And it's like, I don't know, because I'm older than them, maybe it's what I'm telling them. That's not really the case. It's bad habits. They get, from what I can see, because I do like quite a few of them, at this point especially. It's just bad habits. You get so used to doing a job a certain way, it becomes like you don't even think about it. You just do blah, 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 that. But you need to put a little something extra into it because there are people here who this is where we live, and we have to be able to deal with living here for years or decades. A lot of these people will be retired. I'll still be here. Some people will actually be in the next room, and I'll still be here. It's my lot in life, I guess. But that's what I have to do with the corporate paperwork. I have to exchange it, so update it basically. And then I'll let them tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Saturday. I guess I'll give them this weekend. And I'll put it in on Monday. Because I don't think they're open on the weekends. But I'll put in the corporate paperwork on Monday. Make sure nothing happens over the weekend. Update you people if something does. And, well, good or bad, I guess. Right. I want to say, I was talking to the DON, and there are quite a few CNAs that not only do I like them, but I think they do a pretty good job, except for little things here and there. And if they would correct these little things here and there, I would never have anything to say about them. So I was telling her that, she wrote down some girls' names that I think are doing a really good job. And I hope, well, I don't really care if it means that they're going to be my CNAs all the time. But because they like to move around, that's why I hope that, that she doesn't do something like that. Because I know that they like to move around. They like the change of pace, I guess. It would probably get monotonous for me as well. But I gave her some names, and I told her there are some that I like. The problems I have with the CNAs now, for the most part, is just bad habits. The ones that don't give me water, I think they're gone for the most part. At least I don't deal with them. And that stuff should trickle through. It should get to where everybody understands you have to give people water. That blew my mind when 2 different CNAs said they wouldn't 3 times. They refused to give me water. I'm like, first of all, there's a sink right there. I can't get to it. But there's a sink right there. And there was a CNA standing, literally could have put her hand back and turned it on and refused to give me water until she finished her rounds. Oh my God, I don't understand that at all. But, on the one hand, I do. It has something to do with cross-contamination. But, like, who was it? I think it was the administrator over in this other town I was in. I was in that nursing home over there, right? He said, well, once you go from one room to another room, cross-contamination, if it's going to happen, it happens anyway. So it doesn't really make any difference if you get water or empty your urinal, whatever. Because, whatever's you either wash your hands and there is no cross-contamination, and you're going to put on gloves anyway, right? So there shouldn't be cross-contamination. The only thing that other thing is for is to make sure that I guess you don't spread illness or something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's part of the CNA program I don't know about, but seems like there's no big deal, especially since food, water, I guess shelter are the three top priorities of medical. The four top priorities in this place, period. They go above everything. And so you have to give people food, water, medical, and of course you have to give them places to stay. That's it. Those are the top priorities. Everything else, the events, the rounds, even all that stuff comes in secondary to that. So when I ask for water, you should be giving me water, not telling me no. That blew mine. I still think about that and I can't believe it. What are some of the other things? Well, the guy cussed me out. He's still here, but I found out evidently he only works when they want him to be here. That's changed, I guess. I could forgive him if he just come and say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry for cussing you out." The only thing that pisses me off is he said he used the N-word, that I called him the N-word. I did not do that. That ticks me off a lot because my granddaughters are black. Half the girls I've had relations with were dark-skinned, Puerto Rican, Samoan, shoot. I was in South Korea. I mean, at least a couple of dozen over there were Asian. I lived with an Asian girl for 30 years. I mean, I'm not racist at all. And he says I use the N-word. He did that just to save his ass, is what he did. And then the girl that said I was sexualizing her, come to find out, whatever she said, it didn't happen the way it was put to me. I have no idea what she really said, because she made it sound like I was trying to get oral sex from the girl. And I've not even thought about sex in 20 years, 25. So, and that's an MS thing. You just lose there's actually a video about it I found, and I lost it, but you lose your desire to do anything. You just don't care. When I was younger, I thought, oh my God, that'd be the worst thing possible. I was talking about ED. Now, you just kind of don't give a crap anymore, it's kind of like that, the old comedies where the girl wants to have sex and the guy wants to watch, Letterman or whatever. That's kind of, and I was always like, what's wrong with them? Now I think it's different, but that's how I feel. I'm like, all right, whatever. But let's watch TV instead, something like that. So anyway, Monday I'll let y'all know what's going on with the corporate, or if anything else happened. I need to take care of some of my other videos, so I don't know if I'm going to do I'll probably do at least an editorial about the politics that are going on today. And then I'm going to do a story about my disease, the MS, because I think I need to update that. So either tonight, over the weekend, something like that, I'll be on the lookout for me posting on new stuff that has to do with, some of these other topics I have under this R13S. And I'm also looking for another place because YouTube just ain't cutting it. I used to make $2,000 a month, and I only had just shy of 10,000 users on my Bigfoot down there. You'll see it at the bottom of my main page on YouTube here. But it's down to I have 65 or 5,600, something like that. I still got over 5,000 users, or subscribers. And I was going to bring it back to life till I realized that Google did something funny. Now I just want to get off this platform. I mean, obviously leave stuff here and point to the other platform because it's still a popular platform. But see what I can do about a different platform that's more appropriate, where I can do more with it for you people, you know. Because it's not worth it if I need to be able to change my circumstances. And that means I have to be able to get this, whichever platform I'm on, up to a point where I can just flip a switch and turn it on and suddenly start getting paid enough to take over for my insurance. So I'm not like all of a sudden homeless and without insurance. Because there has to be some overlap. Unless somebody's going to donate, buy me a coffee or whatever, so I can change my circumstances like that. I need to be able to go to another platform like patreon.com, or I'm thinking of using, what do you call it? I can't think of the name of it. Substack. Because I've put a couple of articles on Substack, and I think they have a way to do videos now. So I haven't really looked at that. I need to look at it and see if there's a way I can put my videos up there as well as on YouTube. I was going to do Twitch, but with Twitch, it's like, I don't know, I ain't figured Twitch out yet. I never did, even back, 10 years ago or something. When I tried to do Twitch, that was before. Who owns them now? Is it Amazon that owns them now? You know, before they get sold off. I tried to get to understand Twitch. That's more of a live broadcast thing, and then you can do articles. And I guess now they get more of the uploaded video stuff now, but it just doesn't seem to be. I mean, I've looked into it, but I'm going to look into the Substack and see if that's appropriate. And then whatever is most appropriate, Patreon, Twitch, Substack, whatever. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll point to it from this YouTube account. So I've talked enough. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to, it's in the description. Buy me a cup of coffee, give me some crypto, whatever, to help me change my circumstances. But only if you can. Don't do it if you can't, obviously. And until next time, thanks a lot.